edition of FreightWaves Now. As always on Friday, we've got the carrier update with our game day update. But first off, here's Strickland talking to the brokers.
Hey everyone, and welcome to your Friday brokerage update. So it's peak season. We're starting to see our tender rejection rates really start to climb up here, 6.48% over the last week. It is starting to climb, and we are anticipating that to continue into next week. If you note here, this green dotted line, all the way back to March was the last time it was this high. So this is a significant increase in tender rejections. We should be seeing a lot more increased activity on the spot market. So go out there and make sure that you're aggressive on the phones and covering your freight, as well as looking for additional loads on the spot market. So let's look and see where the rest of the disruption is in the country. Outbound tender market share compared with outbound tender rejection weekly change here. So anything in those dark blues, rejection rates increasing. Anything in those reds, rejection rates decreasing. You see here this volume, these depth to this market here. Harrisburg market, very, very tall, a lot of volume coming out of that market. So blue and tall means you need to pay attention to that market real well. Out here in the middle, this is Rock Island, Illinois. Let's dive deeper into Rock Island, Illinois. So behind me, I've got our tender rejection map for all of the Rock Island area, the whole country. Rock Island rejections going up, length of hauls, all across the board, long haul, mid haul, short haul, all of that increasing week over week. So you need to get out there and cover everything out there, but as well as make sure that you're covering all those spot loads. There's a lot of increased revenue potential in this market over the next few days. Spiking rejection rates across reefer and dry van. So make sure that you're covering that. Strong to moderate increases across all boards, volumes, and tender rejections. So a lot of opportunity in that market, and that'll do it for this week's brokerage update.
Welcome to your Friday carrier update, sponsored by PowerFleet. My name is Kyle Cunningham. Thanks for sticking around this week. Wow, this orange line took a trip all the way down. So last year's volumes, as today stands, were at 86.11. So pretty much a pre-Thanksgiving drop off. Yesterday, this was my line right here, this dotted yellow line, hopefully projecting the trajectory as it trends up. But today's volumes at 99.85, that's still pretty good considering that 10,000 is our baseline. So the fact that it turned down just a little bit but did not totally drop off is a very good sign. So be sure to stay tuned next week as we enter into the holiday period to see where the volume levels go. Would love to actually see this turn up. Now with Thanksgiving coming, you could possibly see a good turn down like this one, but hey, if you take a look back, you can see as these up and downs come, they generally turn back around. Let's look at outbound rejections for the entire nation. Everything you're seeing over here is above 10% contracted freight tender rejections. So you can see big green moves from this point last week. So it's been a pretty decent week in some of the more capacity tightened markets. But for now, Bismarck, North Dakota, and Fargo still take the winners. If you have capacity in Iowa, definitely get more on your assets this week. And even out in Grand Junction, Colorado, still holding strong. Cape Girardeau, Missouri, that's another one to watch as well. Speaking of small markets, Duluth, Minnesota, inbound tender volume trending up ever so slightly. Outbound tender volume way down. But here's what happened. Due to the small market, you can see huge runs up in outbound rejection. So up 30% overnight to 11.84, indicating that there's just not a lot of capacity in that market. Look at what happens when these big runs happen. They go up, they kind of sit up there for a minute, and once the capacity flows back into the market, they come back down to rest at around 5%. So if you're anywhere near Duluth, be sure you get extra on your assets today. It's Friday in the South, which means it's college football time yet again. Let's take a look at some matchups across the country. Taking it down to the Texas markets, Fort Worth, Waco, Texas, inside of the Fort Worth market there, we are going to see a matchup between Baylor and UT. So the Fort Worth market here, 2.93%, extremely soft, and down in Austin, not much better, 2.46%. McLean Stadium inside of Fort Worth. Baylor's got this one all day. Let's move over to the Ohio markets and take a look and see what's going on with Columbus, Ohio, Ohio State versus Penn State this weekend in Ohio State. 7.39 in Columbus and 7.49 in Harrisburg. So two strengthening markets in regards to carrier favorability. Hey, as always, thanks so much for watching this week. We will see you next week and have a great weekend.
That'll do it for today's FreightWaves Now. Make sure to check us out on all our social media, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, as well as check out our new FreightWaves TV app, available in all digital platforms.